and welcome to another episode of Life Lessons in Bon Jovi songs. Today we're doing one of the outtakes. So an outtake means a song that didn't end up on the album, but it does usually have an album we can tie it to. So we're doing the outtakes from the Slippery When Wet album, which was released in 1986, and it was Bon Jovi's big breakthrough. Now, this is the album. So it's not on here because it's an outtake. Then there's the second option, and that is that the song was released in 2004 on what is called the box set. The official title is 100 Million Bon Jovi Fans Can't Be Wrong. And so that's another option where the song that was not released on the album it was written for, usually after a couple of like rotations on B-sides and special editions and everything like that, ended up being collected, being included in the 2004 box set. Now this album or this box set is an official release. So if it is on this album, then it has a then the song is mentioned in an article that you can find below in the description box called, I think, 356 Bon Jovi songs ranked. So you can find the link below. So, but that only has the 356 Bon Jovi songs that were officially released. So we have a couple of outtakes that were released, but way later, 2004. So that's option 2. So a song has a couple of options to be used, you could say. I will come back to this word because very interesting, something I found. So the song can be used either for the official studio album, and if not for the official studio album, it had a second chance of being used or collected or harvested in 2004. Then there is the third layer. Like if it didn't show up here, then there's the third layer of what are called outtakes, and these are songs that were recorded in, I think, Mountain View or Little Mountain Sound Studios in Vancouver. So that was where the album was recorded. So just imagine, they're in the studios, they're recording the whole album, but they're also recording other songs. So these are still songs that are in, pretty good shape. They're recorded in the official studio. They were important enough, strong enough to, be carried all the way to Vancouver and be rehearsed or be recorded there. And this is one of those songs. Now, I'm going to give you a sneak peek on what is at the end of this spectrum, which is songs that were only recorded in the basement. So that's like the basement of Richie Sambora's mother. So that's where they recorded the first demos, and there's actually a couple of outtakes that, that stayed in the basement that have a recording that's only from there. It's referred to as the basement tapes, and we have a couple of those coming up as well. But we're still, we're right now we're still in the phase where the outtakes we're choosing are either from on this album. I think we had those, but the ones that were on this one, and now we're switching to the ones that were not on the box set, but still in pretty good shape, still, recorded in Vancouver in the studio. So the song for today is Deep Cuts the Night. That is the song. I will give you the link below so you can listen to the song if you're unfamiliar with it. And like I said, it was recorded in Vancouver for the Slippery When Wet album. Didn't end up in there. Also didn't end up on this one, and I didn't really have much to go on. So I, printed the lyric, or not printed, but looked into the lyric. Didn't really find anything there either, and looked at a couple of other sources. Nothing was mentioned about this song, except one YouTuber did say, "Oh, it really reminds me of oh, let me see. The hardest part is the night, which is, if I'm correct, on the first album. So it reminded them of the hardest part is the night, as well as I Die For You, which is interesting because that's actually a song that did end up on this album. So there was one fan who kind of like commented on or like put a little comment in their description box of this song. I will give you the link below as well, because like they are the only one who said something about this song. But all in all, I had very little to go on. So I, started Googling, and then I like I really hit the jackpot, and I'm sure like many Bon Jovi fans already knew about this, but I didn't. I stumbled upon a release that was probably from like 1995-ish, I'm guessing, that had like really like a selection of about like 10 to 12 outtakes from the first 5 albums, so all the way to Keep the Faith. So in the 90s, like pre-internet, pre anyone of us ever hearing about these songs, there was already like a bootlegger, like an illegal album creator who collected everything that they could find on B-sides and I don't know, like within the bootlegger community, and put it together and basically created an album. And I will tell you the title in a minute. You can still buy it. It has been released on a CD as well. You can still buy it. I'll get back to it. But the cool thing about this album, with all these B-sides and rarities, is that it's very structured. So it's like in chronological order. It's like what I would have loved to see here, that you get the oldest outtake, the oldest recording first, and then all the way to the latest one. And this one actually has that. It has like the oldest song first, and then the newest one. So I will give you a link to the album, because it is on YouTube as well. And in the description box, you can find all the songs as well as the chronological order, like song 1 and 2 belong there, song 3 and 4 belong there. So that is just really cool. So I'm guessing it was halfway in the 90s, and they came up with this record of these rare songs, which was at the time really quite an accomplishment. I think that you could collect that you could date them, that you could put them in the right order. So it's really pretty special, and you may want to look out for that. So I'm giving the description, the video in the description box, and to this album, and it's called, I think it has a very funny name. gotta check it. Yeah, no, I remember the correctly. We are not unused. We are not unused, as if the songs, you know, that I just mentioned are unused. As if they say, yeah, we're not unused. We're here. We're right here. So I thought that was a very cute title for this CD, this bootleg CD with B-sides and rare outtakes. So Deep Cuts the Night refers to just the pain of loneliness during the night. You know, the night cuts, it cuts in your heart, it cuts deep. But the funny thing is that a deep cut is also a reference to a very rare Bon Jovi song. So if you Google for Deep Cuts the Night Bon Jovi, you will get references to all kinds of, you know, websites where they discuss rare songs, CDs from 1995 where they collect B-sides and other rare Bon Jovi songs. So a deep cut has a double meaning. It is in this song, as far as I could see, it is just meant as, you know, kind of like a love song about loneliness, about the night that cuts. But deep cuts, like these, the first two words, in 99% of the cases, if you Google it, deep cuts and Bon Jovi, 99% of the cases you will get articles or collections of deep cuts. What are deep cuts? Deep cuts are outtakes. So it's like, it says like, deep cuts the night is like outtakes the night. Outtakes the night. Outtakes the night. Well, that would have been a different song. I don't think that would have been the album. I think they would have destroyed that song if it was called Outtakes the Night. But yeah, so I think it's very funny that Deep Cuts the Night, that the title has a double meaning, and you know that still in 2025 we're all still fascinated with these rare deep cuts without the night part. So I don't know, is there a lesson? Is there a lesson? It's called Live Lessons in Bon Jovi songs. But usually I'm just happy if I can like tell a story, tell something vaguely related to the single and or to the song, and I don't know. I think it's a great, like, I think the title of the CD of the rare album from 1995. I'm just making 1905 up. I don't know what the release year was of that album, but I think the life lesson is that the title is just so great. like, so, like you know, we should get tattoos. Was it like, we are not unused? We are not unused. Okay, I will just leave that like, oh, like I will not give any context. I will just leave it at that. I think really that We Are Not Unused is just such a great title. Like, I cannot top that with another life lesson. Like, I will just credit the artist who came up with that title and just say, okay, the stage is yours. Like, we are not unused. Take that, you know, laugh about it, and yeah, I don't know, reminisce about it, meditate on it. I don't know. I think it was great. I was very yeah. I was happy that I found such an interesting find, an interesting album that I didn't know of, which is such a funny title. Okay, And the next one will be Game of Heart. And I do have to say that it was not just an interesting album that I found with a funny title. It was also that, you know, like I have the list of titles on this album in front of me, and I'm seeing a couple of them, and I'm like, are they even on the list that I currently have? Or are these songs that need to be added to the rolling list of rare Bon Jovi songs that I created? I will also, the link to that list is also below in the description. But yeah, so it might actually be that the CD that, you know, I just stumbled upon with all these rare songs, that it actually brings me some new additions to this list, which was, as far as I know, pretty complete already. So that could be very interesting, that Deep Cuts the Night actually is bringing a couple of new songs to the list in this way. And the next song that I will do will be Game of the Heart. Yeah, let's just do Game of the Heart, and then I'll see later if I have more outtakes to fit in. Let's just make it Game of the Heart, which is another song recorded in Vancouver in 1986. So, see you there. Bye.